Hi guys, every month we release ISOs and every month we release 2 videos. How to stay rolling and what is new. This is the what is new. Let's go to the internet and find out. So ArcoLinux.info, info for information. We ask for the releases 2024 in short, in a few moments time after this video. We'll change it up here, but at this point in time you'll find it in releases 2024. And let's go over the article. This is probably one of the most critical videos ever, so we'll send out many reminders of this potential problem, right? So important and critical, important and critical. I start with this. Transitioning to a more flexible bootloader configuration. That means we've been using grub like for 6 years, right? There was only one issue in all these 6 years, so it's okay. Then we added systemd boot in the equation, and in May, we'll release ISOs where you can choose the refined bootloader. Now, as you know, we have these aliases, so that's our thing. To SDM, I switch my display manager from SDM to GDM to etc. Right? It's super easy to go and change things, and there's even lie, etc. The idea was, of course, that we do that with the bootloaders as well. So to grub and to boot, in short systemd boot, or to refind. That would be ideal. So we've made scripts, but the bootloader is something critical, and there's one thing we don't know. What's happening on your computer? We have no clue how many operating systems you have there, how many partitions, etc, etc, and etc. So there's a big disclaimer added to these scripts saying, guys, it's up to you. You can break your system with bootloaders, changing that. So the best approach, my advice for May, if you download the ISO in May, you'll have the choice: grub, systemd boot, or refined, and then you stick with it, you stay with it. It's always going to be safest. But yeah, so we want to have some flexibility and versatility and say, whoop, changed, boom, right? But if you want to go for a flexible bootloader configuration, we need to change our packages a little bit. So we are defining, okay, we're on this kind of bootloader, so we need those Pacman hooks, and we are on that one, so we're gonna add this or add that. So we have the flexibility to change, switch, and accordingly change and switch the applications, the Pacman hooks, most oftenly. So you'll find here some more information, so have a look at those. Conclusion is, well, here's a video about the May release already, so I know it's only making a video about the April releases, but we need to prepare ourselves. We need to give you the time to do some actions, to do some things, and I'll explain later. So this is the video for the May release, so you know what's going on. You're aware we have the news playlist you maybe should bookmark, right? I'll talk about that later, which ones I would bookmark. Here we have the switch between grub, systemd boot, or refined. Some images, some examples how it will be in the future, how it can be actually already today. So watch out, watch out. So a big disclaimer here: no warranties, guys. Backup, and then okay, yeah. So if you're not a technical guy and you don't know if you're on grub or systemd boot, here is the simplest way to say it. If you see the image to the left here, you need to type this in your terminal. basically we've created 3 packages for the bootloaders. If you're on grub, you install this. If you're on systemd boot, you install this. Black, systemd boot, colorful, grub. Okay, so you know what to do. After seeing this video, you need to type the command in the terminal. And we'll stay around, or we stick with, well, basically a double pacman hooks for 2 weeks. And mid-February, we're going to remove the pacman hooks that migrated from A to this one, or A to this one, right? And then of course you're not protected anymore if you did not type this. The automatic grub configurations and all that will not exist anymore. You need, for safety reasons, for stability, for continue and to continue your experience, you need to have this particular thing installed when on grub and this particular thing when on systemd boot. This is a simple explanation. The more difficult explanation is this one. And yes, also the ArcoLinux D users need to do that. The only difference is that there is a D there, right? It's the same package, but a little bit different for the D. And what we need to do can't be done with pacman at all, right? We need to keep this one and move 3-4 things, well, more actually, but we need to remove things from here to here and some other things to there and create some new things for this one. Okay, so that's a little bit a complex package build. So hence I've learned in these 6 years, every time we try to automate things, it backfired. That's the best lesson I've learned in all the 6 years. Don't try to automate things. Tell people there is no black box, there is no, well, what happened to my system? No, we explain you what will happen and you do the work, right? So this will stay. People already asked, will this go away? No. A few pacman hooks that are relevant for grub move here, a few move there, and we create new ones for refined. So this is the same message, of course, exactly the same thing. So when on grub, this image, then you do that one. If on systemd, then you install that one. But it's basically too complex to leave it up to pacman and scripts and all that. We do give you messages. So if you update or install this particular package or the D variant in ArcoLinux D, right, you see a warning telling you, hey, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. If you're on grub, then install the following package. If you're on systemd, then install the following package. There is a little script, but it just tries to read what are you on. It does not install anything. It's up to you to type sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux bootloader systemd boot git. So it just checks, helps you to say, hey, you're on systemd boot. And this will be the look, the 1st of May, so not now, right? This is just new. And the ISOs were already checked and tested for April release. So this will be in May, the option to install the refined. The timeline is that we remove the hooks from the ArcoLinux systemd config, and we hope in those 2 weeks that we've reached the bulk of our users and that they have all installed these 2 packages we're talking about up here, either this one or that one, this one or that one, and then they will be removed from the ArcoLinux D system. Then we're split, right, and everything will be exactly the way. Well, there will be no changes anymore. Even if we make a 4th one, right, everything is then split, so all is good. And here's the reference to what should I bookmark? What should I, as an end user, bookmark? We have so many things and many projects and many ideas and many news, and we post things on Discord, and it's sometimes a flood of information. I get it. So in Discord, we have here a new one called Official News Fixes. And the one that I've just fixed, the paru example there, sudo pacman -s paru git, you can read here, is solved here. That was in the video of how to stay rolling. But anything else, right, fixing, and so you immediately find the solution in here, official news fixes, rather than official news which gets flooded by all kind of projects. Okay, that's Discord. On YouTube, we've also playlists, right? Use the playlist. Bookmark this one. Why? Well, each time I'll see that I reorganize things from the newest, right? At the bottom, we have the very last one. So it's better that the very last one is at the top. That's just a setting inside YouTube that can change it quickly. So fix, all kind of fixes are in this playlist. So I would bookmark that one. The news, things that are important, like this news is very important. Switching between grub and systemd, refined, all of this, add microcode has changed, how old are we, remove debug, all information required is in that list. What is new is if once in a month, right? A video once in a month, what is new, and I'll rearrange as well that this is at the top. And we're making the video 24.04 right now. Okay, so, and how to stay rolling. It's an awesome way of keeping track and learning and maintenance and all kind of things. Any of these things are interesting because it's always something else that we explain and that is maybe necessary. Remember the ArcoLinux keyring, I mention it probably every single time. So that's that. Find your info, right? And then do your stuff with it because it's just an OS and you have fun with it. I've made also a tutorial on how to arch root into things, so things can go super wrong. And that's okay because we are learning, and Linux is not Windows or not Mac, so it really is sometimes technical. And we have the Arch Wiki to help us, and these days we have the AI, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Copilot, and others, right, to help us ask the question. And sometimes I do that. Sometimes the very basic questions are being asked on Telegram or Discord, and I respond with the message or the explanation from ChatGPT or others. And I say, look, these days, right, you have a personal teacher, a professor that explains you what it all is. And if you don't trust it, then you Google, right? You just DuckDuckGo. But it gives you an information, and I read it and I say, oh, actually a good message. And sometimes I delete a line that's not correct, etc., and I copy paste, boom, and you have a full answer. So try to use that as well because it helps you. Enfin, so arch root into Btrfs. We've seen so many posts with this one, right? If you just Google this, you get tons of hits. Let's see how many. Just 377,000 results. All right, VM Linux not found, and then we introduced that particular problem, and then we fixed it again on Btrfs. So an explanation. It's important that you know that anything ArcoLinux based can be fixed. It crashed. So what? You take an ArcoLinux ISO from arcolinux.org, you burn it on the ISO, and you keep it on your shelf. That's your rescue USB. Then you watch videos maybe on your mobile because your only system broke, right? And you watch what you need to do with arch root. That's the only thing you need to remember, arch root. And you find your information online. The more videos you see, the more you understand, the more you get, and voila. Okay. The guiding hands, nice. And therefore, get the information anywhere. Anything Arch based, so okay, Garuda, okay. Which one are okay? And let's do ATT. ArcoLinux tweak tool runs on all of these. These are all Arch. Anything you learn at ArcoLinux can be applied here, plus 10 to 20% of other stuff, like Dracut, for example. We don't have Dracut, we have make init CPIO. So information, knowledge is required. We give you that, and this is for something specific. ButterFS, the ext4 things existed already, and I don't see any links. That's too bad, so I'll add the link later. ArcoLinuxD.com. I thought, where should I put this? Right, and phase 7 utilities, I've put it here. Archroot in ext4 and Archroot in ButterFS. That's where we explain you 2 options to fix your system. You can always fix an ArcoLinux based system if you got the knowledge, right? Microcode is something else. It's about well, basically kernels, AMD or Intel, and making sure that they're stable and they're secure and there are bug fixes. Do you need to install is the most important question. It depends, right? On my system for the last 6 years, I've never installed it. Why? Because I'm too lazy and because everything works. If everything works, right, then you can try to install microcode. It still works. Okay, not any better, not any worse. Fine. Then you know what to do. Next time around, probably you'll be lazy and say, okay, doesn't do a thing for me. Or you say, yes, it's better, and then of course you keep it. Now we have a little script. That's interesting, right? Scripting. I've made a video about it, how to create bash scripts. And add microcode is basically going to check, hey, this guy is Intel, this guy is AMD. Is gonna get Intel ucode, and then is gonna put microcode in the make init cpo.conf, this one, automatically. I'm gonna generate everything and we are ready to reboot. As simple as that. Okay, so you can read the rest here. Okay, I'm gonna change that. I see this one is a fix about pacman breaks dependency, so that's a solve, how to solve things, and there is an article later on about fixing things. This video serves as an extensive guide on installing ArcoLinux. We always go on and learn and teach, and in phase 7 we have always different ways to, well, this is the university kind of level thing, meaning we're going to install ArcoLinux the ArcoLinux way. Black screen, typing code, older computer, new computer, and at some point in time you decide what bootloader, right, should I use. And in here we've explained the bootloaders as well. So if you go all the way down, that's I think easier, and then a bit up, we have 4 bootloaders: grub, refind, system deboot of EFI stop, and that's the new guy. So I've added that as well. And the article is a little bit down there, and that's documented here. So if you're ready to go for an ArcoLinux installation, we're there to guide you. Simple as that. But it might be something that say, okay, maybe in 3 years time I'll try it, and that's okay. And that's what a university is: a first year, a second year, a third year, a fourth year. You graduated, right? Maybe after the third year, or maybe the second in your country, depending. But the thing is, you don't start with something very, very difficult before you get the basics. And that's what you need to be aware of. Don't start too soon with difficult things and just say, okay, I've watched the video, it's not for me now, later, right? It's there. So here's the fixes thing, so the video needs to move here. And this is me, right? Asking, hey, ChatGPT, What can we do if you have a problem? So what to do when you're confronted with an issue, hands-on example. That video up there needs to come down here. I think there is another one here. Voila. So it's double, I think. Yeah, anyway, I'll see. So one of the things was that Paru thing, and the other one was Pacman, and I'm explaining how to analyze particular things, because there will be hundreds of changes in the coming 30 years, right? So you need to not rely on me, but rely on your brain and the logic behind it, and the discovery from how does Eric find it? How do we solve things like that? That's what we try to share, right? So you can stand on your own 2 feet. So I asked Mr. ChatGPT, and this is the thing we say: don't take us the wrong way. I mean, don't get us. It's there. The knowledge is there. We're not consultants. We are a university. We don't help you in a particular way, like press that button and do this and do that. Sometimes we send you, we don't know, and say, consult ArchWiki, because you're asking us something so technical, so unique, and the only way to learn, for me, for anybody of us, is to consult the ArchWiki first, and then if you don't get it, and I know the ArchWiki can be very complex and very difficult, certainly the first time you ever read it. Trust me, there isn't probably one page I haven't read 20 times. And gradually you get it. Gradually, over time, you get it. The more videos you see, the more articles you see from us, from other people, and in the end, it's okay, now I understand. That's where you need to be, and then you never leave Arch. There's of course the Arch forums. What is not mentioned is of course Endeavor forums, Garuda forums, anything Arch based. Of course, it's all the same thing, it's all Arch. And yes, forget about specific things like Drakut, right? But yes, a lot of information is gonna be similar. They say something like ERC, so a channel to talk to. It's not something I do, but I've left it in. Check the system journal. So journal CTL is a command you can type in the terminal. There's also sudo dmessage, enfin, right? Read official news, very important. Official news, archlinux.org. Message users, you're needed to do something manually. It's up to you, right? These messages, we can't miss them. Of course, if we see them, we put them on the relevant social media, but even so, right? Official news. We are Arch. Read it. The ArcoLinux bug tracker is there, but they've changed the website, and I don't think it's that good anymore. Anyway, we can also roll back packages. So there's the downgrade tool, and we have an ArcoLinux tool as well, and we call it downgrada. So there's one difference, an E and an A. So you can downgrade a Linux kernel or packages or stuff like that. But we can also downgrade the things that are from us, that we have, like Dropbox or InSync or something like that. You can't downgrade it with this, but you can downgrade it with that. It's the same appliance, but it's basically our thing, right? You can reinstall it, you can restore it with time shift, and that's the Linux thinking. If you found a solution, please share it, right? If you managed to solve the issue, consider sharing your solution. We have an ArcoLinux forum, and it's always interesting, well, to read, it was solved like that, I'll try that as well. And everything and everybody is helped that way. All right, moving on. Pamek AOR gave us issues mid-March, and there's a video about it here, right? Lib Pamek. And we say, okay, given our policy against retaining software that causes frustration on the ISO, it will not be installed by default moving forward. Users may choose to install it post-reboot, which is just simply sudo pacman -s pamek awar or octopi, you choose, if desired, right? We don't need it. It's a GUI, a graphical user interface of the same thing for pacman in the terminal. we've removed Calamares, we've removed Midora and Min from Calamares and Sophiram, which is basically the same thing. Calamares is during installation. Click, 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 advanced installation. I want that. If you got something, you launch Sophiram. And in Sophiram, that's a software remover and installer. That's where you say, I forgot something in Calamares, click, click, click. So the same things you can click here, you can click here, but also remove. And more things, so have a look at Sophiram. We are putting Sophiram more and more in the picture, so that means more and more on the ISOs. Plasma, yes, it was the month of Plasma, right? We've made 81 videos just on Plasma. Now on ArcoLinux Nemesis. But we've made a lot of videos about Plasma. And we've also shown you how to learn to script a little bit more. So you have Plasma, it needs a space here, I see. And here we are, 34. That's okay, right? Not too much. Oh, 38 already. Should change that as well. 38 in the meantime. Because yes, we've installed in QEMU and stuff like that. Do you build a lot of packages with GeoParu? There is this script, and we have something new called nMakePackage. If you did your scal, right, you have this, and in the video how to stay rolling, I've shown you that this thing is without exclamation mark. That means every package that you build with Paru or with Yay or any other URL helper will say, oh, let's create an extra debugging package. It takes time, it's not used, we don't want it, right? So an exclamation mark is basically telling you, don't do that. And if you type remove debug, it's gonna add that particular exclamation mark. All right. Well, not remove, it's gonna install that exclamation mark. So we don't have debugging applications. Videos. And yes, Plasma was really in the picture. Ooh, la 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 la. And we saw that the Plasma Breeze folders changed in color depending on the wallpaper, and we kind of love that. So every wallpaper that we get with Variety, for example, Breeze or Plasma is gonna look at the wallpaper, choose a color. We don't have any say over it. It's gonna choose a color and it's gonna color the folders and also the theme. So the accents inside Plasma. And that's a nice feature, and I wanted to have that as well. So Surfn, Plasma, Dark, Breeze folders. So we have also a beautiful look. A tutorial to clean up grub entries is now written, meaning that at some point in time there was a user and said, I have these lines, I want to clean it up, and we investigate grub and remove some lines so that's a clean look again. Now, since Plasma was new, we started afresh. That means that we decided to keep the vanilla ArcoLinux look and feel. Yeah, so basically it's ArcoLinux plus Plasma, that's it, yes. And then inside your installer, install the Calamares, you can decide to have more. I would not be happy with just the default vanilla ArcoLinux. I'd like to have some key bindings, meaning Super X or Control Shift Escape and stuff like that. Key bindings, keyboard bindings, service menu right mouse click, icons and themes to make something nice that in the end is going to look something like this, right? So it's great to experiment with Plasma, to design it, to rise it, to theme it, icons, tips, tricks, my personal settings, because it's vanilla, right? There are a few packages that you can install, but it stays quite vanilla. So it's up to you to basically read the Plasma or the system settings, check it out, what's in the system settings, and click and click and click and click and click. All right. All right, then there's also a meta package, meaning if I forget to install this during Calamaris, I just type this, and that's meta, meaning it's all of that if I type this. Yes, we have a new desktop called Nimdo, and we have added it, of course, to our Extended. Extended is created to promote tiling window managers, and quite a few of them. And yeah, Nimdo has a nice place into it. It's a nice, beautiful tiling window manager, and it's now added to the Extended ISO. And we've also explained it, so we have different guys and different levels in students, and there are guys that who want to learn how to build their own distro, and this is in there, right? How to take the Plasma and add ChatWM or Nimdo to it, right? It's all knowledge, and we share that knowledge how to create your own ISOs. So for the ISO builders maybe. And this one is for anybody. Git tutorial. I've made a refreshing course. I find it very important that you back up your things. Why do I need GitHub? Why should I put all of the effort into this? Easy and quick installation. It's backup for you. Moving from PC to PC. Sometimes people ask me, can I make an image from my PC right now? Basically, that's the ArcoLinux Nemesis scripts. Learn what make the desktop look the way it looks. Move the files to a place. And do a clean install, Mac, Windows like, right? Linux. And move the files back. Done, right? Put the apps back, put the configs of the apps back. And you have a clean install without rubbish of the old one. And everything will work, and you keep syncing your, in my case, github.com/Eric ArcoLinux Nemesis scripts, and done. Run the scripts, learn how to script, and voila, put them online and git clone it again on a clean installation and say run. You eat, you come back, everything is set. And yes, we make it complex. We use SSH GPG to connect to GitHub. It's quite a story to be able to make it all work. I've created repos and all that, so it really is something for the guys who are ISO builders for sure, but also for the users, a user like me. github.com Eric Dubois. All right, and then of course what's new, that's the video we're making now, and how to stay rolling has been created. Let's iterate or reiterate the key point again. If you encounter issues with the advanced installation due to Pacman errors, opt for the easy installation method. Remember, the problem lies with Pacman, not Calamaris. Yes, Calamaris is going to give you the message, but that's all, right? So basically, guys, if you have problems with advanced, which is nice to have, but if it fails, you take the easy installation offline, and then later on you install with SofiRAM or your scripts, or with PAMAC or with Octopi, you install more stuff. And then the beta testers wanted me to stress in the videos, and in every article will repeat it. The number you see when you type ISO does not mean a thing. It does not mean you're up to date. It does not mean you did your work correctly. It just means that you used that particular ISO, that number, that in 2024 in March you downloaded an ISO, burned on an USB and installed it. That's it. It will never change, never be updated. For us, it is an idea. We're August 2024 and you have an issue and we ask you to give the ISO. Then we think, what have we changed since April, May? What could be the reason for this message? What could be the cause? That's why it's there, for us to think and analyze. That might be the issue. Maybe it's missing a package, maybe this, maybe that, right? That's why it's there. It's not going to be changed. More deal to... Okay, we're at the end. So there we are. So let me stress again, this is very important at the very beginning. Let's end with this message here. This is essential. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to remove hooks from a certain package, and you need to have it, those hooks, you need to have them in this one or that one. So install this one now if you're on grub, or this one now if you're on systemd boot. That's important. We'll send more messages out in the world so you don't forget, so we have the bulk of the people. Probably not have everybody, right? But doing this automatically, I don't trust it. It always backfires every single time we've done it. So let's communicate with each other rather than create black boxes that happen somewhere and then you're confronted with it. Okay? All right, have fun with ArcoLinux, learn a lot, and spread your wings. Cheers.